the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on The Zone. This is JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. It is JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Thanks for being with us. Our program, as always, is brought to you by G2G Bars. All natural ingredients and no preservatives make the G2G Bar perfect for anybody who needs a quick, tasty, and nutritious boost. Well, let's just get right into it here. We got to just jump in. It's at top of the hour, which means that we've got to get to the cut. Oh, I've also got some tickets to give away, so let's just jump in right here, and let's do it.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This portion of the program brought to you by Trajan Wealth, TRAJAN Wealth.com for your retirement. All right. We've also got some tickets to give away. Call number 12 right now to 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-9663. Gets a pair of tickets to Neil Young at the Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater on July 29th of this year. So call number 12 gets Neil Young tickets, 575-ZONE. That's 801-575-9663 for that pair of tickets to see Neil Young this summer. Okay. Let me see here. So I was looking today at some of the preseason polls for college football, and an interesting write up on CBS Sports because they took their post-spring rankings that Dennis Dodd did, and they basically went off of what the college football playoff would look like. Now, the initial rankings had Utah at 11. Remember we talked about this yesterday?
Yes.
But 11 actually, what you need to look at is, are there any other conference winners in that P4, right? SEC, Big 12, Big 10, ACC, that would be behind Utah. If Utah were to win the Big 12 championship, which is what Dennis Dodd thinks would happen, they would be ranked 11th according to his ranking. But that would actually put them, because the ACC champion Clemson is 14 on his list, they would be the fourth-ranked team. They'd get in as the last automatic qualifier that gets that bye week as a conference champion of the P4. Utah would be third, and then your Big Ten champ, Ohio State Buckeyes, would be second, and then your SEC champion, are you sitting down? Georgia Bulldogs would be number one. All right? So now let me roll out how this works. All right, so because that jumps, like I said, Utah up to 3, Clemson to 4 because they get the byes. Now, at the end of their rankings, he had Oregon at 3 and he had Texas at 4. Those guys get moved down to 5 and 6 respectively. Alabama was 7, Ole Miss was 8, Missouri 9, Notre Dame 10, Penn State 11, and Boise State 12. Your automatic qualifier is the G5, the best G5, right?
Correct.
So, how does that work? Well, this is why it's fun for me, JJ, because in this world, Utah gets that first week bye, and then they would be – now, the only bummer about that is I would love for Utah to host and frankly BYU to host a college football playoff at some point. Imagine how awesome that would be in December. Amazing. To have a game in Provo or up at Rice Eccles Stadium for that first round. Now, when you win the Big 12, you have the luxury of sitting out, and that would put them in the Fiesta Bowl. The bowl tie-in with the Big 12 would be that Fiesta Bowl, and they would be, according to the list here, taking on Texas. So Texas, who was actually ranked higher,
assuming Texas beats Penn State,
right? So I think that in the one that he had put together, he had Texas beating Penn State,
yep.
And so Utah would take on the winner of Texas Penn State, and he's got, according to this list, Texas winning that one, and then he also has Texas beating Utah, which wouldn't be that far of a cry because, like I said, Utah was ranked 11th at the end of the season, but they got bumped up to 3rd because of the conference champ. Texas was ranked 4th, but in the SEC they would have been the second best team in the SEC, and so they would be further back. So your final is very interesting because as we went through and as we looked at it here, after all of that work, after watching what the first round, because the first and second rounds are frankly the most cool about this, right? When you go through and you look at what that would look like, it is a pretty cool thing to look at. However, you also see that after everything is said and done and all the work is done and the hay's in the barn, he's got number 1 Georgia taking on number 2 Ohio State in the national championship game. So after all that work, now let me create a chaos bracket for you. Okay? Can we do that? Because if we're going to do the hypothetical,
there's going to be some.
But that's what I'm saying. Because right now he's basically got it. Even though it doesn't look like it, he still has it chalk because Texas technically was ranked higher than Utah going in to that final part of the season.
It's not going to be chalk. It's not. It's
a
true playoff.
So where do the upsets come? So here's your first round. Oregon would be hosting Boise State. I'm looking at you. Nah? Well,
that'd be fun.
That would be cool.
I'd watch that.
Does Boise State win that game, though?
No.
Do they get an upset? No.
No.
Okay. Texas and Penn State. Penn State's your 11 seed in that one. They would be going to Austin.
Texas wins.
Texas wins that game. Okay. Alabama is the 7 seed hosting the 10th seeded Notre Dame Fighting Irish. There's no way Notre Dame beats Alabama, right?
If it was somebody else, so let's say if it was Ole Miss, I'd be going Ole Miss over Alabama. I don't know how good Notre Dame's going to be this year. In fact, I don't think Notre Dame's going to make the playoff. So I would go Alabama in that scenario.
By the way, SEC teams.
And I understand I'm going chalk.
SEC teams in this scenario, this is just the first round. This is excluding Georgia. Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, and Missouri. 4 of the teams in just the first round. So 5 teams out of the 12 would be SEC teams according to this.
Roll down Tide.
For the first 5 at large SEC
right.
teams.
Come on. It's all the same now. It's all just the same. So, Ole Miss and Missouri. Who are you going to give that one to?
Ole Miss.
Okay.
Rolls. Jackson Dart's our guy.
Okay, so in the next round, do you look at a team like because Texas and Penn State, you say Texas will win that game. So Utah and Texas beating Utah isn't really a quote unquote upset.
No,
but I could really see Utah stealing that one away, especially if they're on a roll. Especially because Texas is going to definitely be doing the whole. We'll see in the college football semifinal thing. I think Garcesian is an.
You're going to trust Garcesian?
Garcesian.
Out coaching Kyle.
To give Coach Garcesian.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hit him on the way out.
Kyle Whittingham wins that coaching match.
I think they could win that. They
could
win that game.
Could.
And that would technically be an upset. So there's our first part of the chaos right here.
Yep.
Let me roll out for you Oregon and Clemson. I think because Clemson is actually not that number 4 seed, I think Oregon wins that game.
Yeah.
And I could see Alabama upsetting Ohio State just because. And then I could too. And I could see Ole Miss giving Georgia a run for its money. Look, why not?
I'd pick Alabama over Ohio State. So you'd have a 7 seed in the semifinal.
Okay, there you go. Boy, real gutsy putting Alabama in the national semifinal game.
They're
JJ.
number 7.
I know, but it's just like that part where I'm like,
know.
we just have seen those freaking guys, man. The real part of when chaos comes to this scenario is when your G5 team is like a Tulane, right? That of 2 years ago, that is, basically undefeated, going into that game, and whoever it is, if it's Oregon, if it's Ohio State, that time when a G5 auto bid beats an SEC or. No, I would just say when an SEC team ends up losing to like a Boise State, it's going to be the new version of what the BCS was, right?
Yeah.
It's going to happen. The question is, when does it happen? Is the school going to be like that Tulane, like I said, type of a school? Is it going to be a, I I'm trying to think of who could be one of those programs. Boise State obviously is always in that conversation, it seems like. But who is it that makes that happen? Could a Utah State ever find its way into that discussion? Probably not in the present time, but you could see them making a run. Why not? Why not? So in the end,
Liberty is a team I would look out for.
Oh boy, those guys, the Fighting Flames. There you go. All right. I don't know. I just can't wait.
Interesting scenario. Two things before we wrap up. Just seeing Utah at number 3 in there is surreal, and it's totally plausible.
Right.
And in fact, it's most likely. The other thing is seeing the possibility of a Utah-Texas college football playoff game and how much I would love to watch that.
Down at the Fiesta Bowl. That's why Kyle Whittingham just loves that Fiesta Bowl down there in Glendale.
They have a history there.
Yeah. Let's go.
Why not? It'd be fun.
Yeah.
A lot of reasons to be excited about the college football season coming up and
Pumped
what
about
Utah
it.
could accomplish.
Okay, let's take another break. We'll come back. We got more to go. We are at the Warehouse, 1825 South, 300 West. We will be right back, right around the corner. Stay here, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
In the NFL, JJ and Alex bring you the NFL Blitz on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back. It is JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. We are at the Warehouse in Salt Lake City, 1825 South, 300 West. We'll go in a little bit different order because normally we talk to Tom right when we go to break, but he was on the phone with a customer, I'm assuming. And here we are talking with Tom now. So, Tom Curl, let's roll out some more deals here, brother.
Boom.
We're still going.
Vidal brought this to my attention. I have 4 Cal King special deals.
Okay.
So this is going to be like a Stearns & Foster, a Sealy Premier, one of the really nice Cal King beds. Values are $2,200 to $3,200. We're going to give you a Cal King mattress plus box springs. The box springs are $249 for the set. Plus mattress protector, plus sheets, plus 2 pillows.
What do we got?
$9.99.
Boom. That's an amazing deal.
Amazing deal.
That's a lot of freebies in there, too.
Wow.
It's $250, $350, $450,
The
$500,
pillows.
and $50
Nice.
free.
Nice. Wow.
And a mattress that would be $2,400, $22.99 to $34.99.
Okay. That's a great deal.
And I have 2 kings that I'll do for $100 more. $10.99.
Boom.
Boom.
Nice.
Let's jump back into and remind everybody about the deal on Simmons Black. One of the best mattresses. Some people rate it as the best mattress made. Queen mattresses, $5.99 and $7.99. If you haven't heard us all day, these are regular $2,900. I'm being honest, $2,900 to $7,000, depending on which one you buy.
Yeah.
We'll do the flat tops, either the plush or the firm, for $5.99. The pillow top for $7.99.
Boom. Those are amazing.
Crazy
amazing deals.
deals.
Yeah.
Anybody who buys one today, I'm going to give you your choice, sheets or mattress protector. We've already done one, and I didn't feel like it was fair not to do it to every listener.
Okay.
Last deal. We talked about deals on upholstery. Anybody out there looking for the item that their wife wants from my daughter's store, Ashley. My daughter Ashley has a furniture store right
Oh,
next
yeah.
door.
Of course.
The Ashley Furniture Store. Bring your item number in, and I'll give you the best price in town. But don't forget, anything upholstery, sofa, love seat, a side chair, a recliner,
So bring in the
a lift
Ashley.
chair.
Bring in the Ashley model number.
Bring in the Ashley model number. We'll beat their best price.
You'll beat the Ashley store's price.
Guaranteed
Wow.
by 10%.
Okay.
But
Boom.
we'll give you 20% off anything in stock.
Okay. That's a great deal.
Boom.
Good start.
That's
Boom,
a guarantee.
boom,
A guaranteed boom.
There it is. All right.
Boom.
Tom, we appreciate it. 1825 South 300 West. If you're not familiar with where it is, if you're going to look for furniture anyway, this is a lot of times where people come this area of Salt Lake, right? Down 3rd West, just a nice stretch of where a lot of people find furniture. But guess what? Start at the warehouse, 1825 South, 300 West. Go look at the other stores, too. Compare prices. You'll come right back here. All right. Here's where we got. Oh, fire up that NFL music again. There we go.
Turn that up into my ear. Love it.
Okay. I do want people to hear this Joe Burrow audio because it's him talking. He was asked about the 18-game schedule, the possibility that the NFL could roll out and add another game. I know it's a crazy idea, right, except for they keep adding games.
Right.
So they added the 17th game not that long ago. They obviously would need the signing off of the Players Association. The players would have to negotiate getting more dollars, obviously. Here's what Joe Burrow had to say about adding that 18th game and what it would mean and how it exactly would work for them.
18 games is definitely a big ask. That's not easy. Adding that extra game, obviously it'd be great for revenue. I feel like adding that bye week, if you're going to have the 18-game schedule, is pretty critical for our bodies, because if you keep that first bye week and then, some teams have the bye week 5, week 6, and then you're going 12, 13 games in a row, that's not easy. Probably a Thursday night game thrown in there too. That's never easy. So those 2 byes are pretty critical. Maybe you could do something like the first bye is kind of how we have it now, and the second bye everybody has it at once, and you make it like the Pro Bowl week or something, like an All-Star break for the NBA. I don't know.
Just throwing it against the wall there. Just checking it out.
A little bit of spaghetti on the wall. See if it sticks.
I don't know. Maybe we have an All-Star weekend like the NBA does. And then he looks around the room. Huh? Cancun, middle of the season?
Wow. Now you're onto something. Cabo.
Because that's what they do, right?
Cabo in October.
That's what they do.
Idea.
The NFL guys, they go
Cabo in November.
They go far-flung. Now the question is, would they have an All-Star game or just the break?
Just
middle of the season
we need
Pro
a
Bowl?
Pro Bowl?
Middle of the season Pro Bowl. Come on. And the person who always coaches it is Bill Belichick. That's how you give him a job.
No, we're moving on to the regular season. We're moving on to the regular season. We're not gonna play. We're not gonna play a Pro Bowl.
Could you imagine?
Days off.
You could have Tom Brady coaching against Bill Belichick. Bring the whole team back together again. Come on.
Now we're crazy.
Now we've gotten
wild. Crazy
talk.
talk.
Now we've gotten wild. So there you go, Joe Burrow.
How about we do a roast, like just a Tom Brady roast for the All-Star break?
The
All-Pro break, the Pro Bowl break.
Oh, the Pro Bowl break. Yeah, of course. Now here's the question:
the Pro Bowl break live on Netflix. They're going to put a Christmas Day game on Netflix.
I will do it. I'll have an All-Star weekend if and only if. Look, we don't have a team here. You know what we have is stadiums. We could host it. Can Salt Lake host the NFL's All-Star weekend?
We like to host things here, so sure.
So we have a dunk contest for basketball. You have a field goal kicking contest? Real sexy.
Can't wait to watch that.
Bring a bunch of kickers out here.
Back to my point. Get rid of the Pro Bowl.
Bring their long snappers, like the guy who, the guy who gets jumped. You know who the guy who gets jumped over in the dunk contest?
Yeah,
that's the long snapper. When the when
turn your long snapper into a prop.
Yes, he throws the ball in the air. You kick it out of the. You kick it out of the sky.
If you're going to try to kick 70-yard field goals, I guess that mountain air would be a good place to try it.
Zach Wilson doing the magnanimous thing and switching his jersey number. Now, he switched from 2 to 10 when he came to Denver. For a hot minute, he was number 10. Now, no one ever saw him in a number 10 jersey, but that was what he was slated to be wearing, obviously, this season. Fine, number 10. Fine number. It's straightforward. He was 11 at BYU for a year. Then I think he was 1 after that. He was going to go. So he was number 2. He decided he's going to do the big man thing, and he's letting Bo Nix have the number 10 jersey. Why? Because Bo Nix wore number 10 in high school. He wore number 10 at college, not just at Oregon, but also at Auburn. He wore 10. His dad wore the number 10 when he played in college. So 10 means something to Bo Nix. Bo Nix approaches you and says, "Can I be number 10? I need the number from you, Zach Wilson. What do you do?" Because then the jokes are all made. Oh, give him your number. Might as well give him your job. Come on. Do you give the jersey up?
Yeah, wait, does he have any connection to the number 10? Like you mentioned it. BYU he was number 1, number 11.
Right.
What was it? Corner Canyon. I'll get that up.
Oh, boy.
What number did he switch to?
I bet he was 1 again. I bet he was 1 at Corner Canyon, too. Was he one at
He
Corner
was
Canyon?
number 1 at Corner Canyon.
Yeah, see? Yeah, see?
So, I mean, he doesn't need to wear 10.
No.
Just 4. He's going to wear number 4.
Oh, yeah. By the way, number 4 was going to be worn by Jared Stidham. Jared Stidham did the magnanimous thing and gave up the number 4 to Zach Wilson because he was actually making the switch to the number 8. All these guys switching their numbers around makes me very uncomfortable. They're like, oh, I don't know. You have to have it. The superstition I get. Then there are guys who are just like, I'm going to switch my number. I need to get away from this. I need to get away from that.
Unless you're a star player who's been selling a lot of jerseys, who cares?
Yeah. I agree. Let me see here. Here we go. Ex-LSU teammates Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors placing a $10,000 bet with one another on who's going to be the Rookie of the Year. Who's your odds-on favorite to win the Rookie of the Year? I'd go Neighbors all day long.
Over Jaden Daniels?
Yes.
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 I think Neighbors with the Giants is going to see a lot of looks, have a lot of opportunities to make dynamic plays. Jaden Daniels, I feel like Washington's not going to be in a position to win a lot of games.
No.
I would bet my money on Caleb Williams.
To win the Heisman
He's going to
Trophy.
start right away. Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Offensive
Rookie of the Year? Yeah.
Should we put $10,000 on it?
I don't have $10,000. Maybe KSL can loan me $10,000 to bet.
$10,000. We don't bet around here.
We don't. It's Utah.
It's a trick question, JJ. You failed. We don't
I did
bet.
fail.
We don't bet. All right.
Well, I might get a letter here in a bit.
Let me see here. Jordan Love has and possibly could be making a case to be the NFL's highest paid player with his next potential extension. What awaits him is good timing, all right?
Yeah.
The NFL is paying quarterbacks and at a record rate. It's not that Jordan Love is going to suddenly be better than everybody on the planet.
Right.
It's just about when this deal gets hit. So he could actually, because the quarterback market, and by the way, if you're not familiar with this, quarterbacks across the quarterback market are praying that Jordan Love gets this deal.
Yes.
Because it's better for everybody. Because not only can a guy like Patrick Mahomes, who made a $50 million a year deal, he's already redone his deal because that contract became absolutely it wasn't a great deal anymore. Suddenly it became, $48 million a year wasn't that good enough. It wasn't good enough for a guy who was a 3-time Super Bowl winner, right? And a 2-time league MVP. So the extension. Now the key to this is Jordan Love needs to be pretty darn good.
Yeah.
The level is, what level of good does he need to be? Hey, ask Daniel Jones. They don't have to be that good.
No, you do not.
But I think if you want to be that $50 million a year guy, $60 million a year guy, you have got to play your butt off. So
he showed enough last year. If he could repeat that again this year, and they win another playoff game, then why not?
$50 million a year waiting him if he has that type of production. So
he's in the top half of quarterbacks right now after his performance last year, in my opinion.
Good job.
Right?
Good job. Yeah, he deserved it.
Are there 15 better quarterbacks in the NFL right now than Jordan Love?
I don't think so.
Right.
By the way, he wears number 10. So if you're
there you
wondering.
go.
Him and Bo Nix.
I don't think he's going to have to give up number 10.
Take number 10s. All right. We'll take the break. We'll come back. We've got more. We'll have our final time to be able to chat with Tom Curl as well for this hour. But first, guess what we have? More tickets to give away. We gave some away yesterday. We've got more tickets to Gabriel Iglesias. That's right, Fluffy. Caller number 12 right now gets a pair of tickets to Gabriel Iglesias coming to the Mavericks Center October 18th of this year. Give us a call right now, 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-9663. 801-575-ZONE gets a pair of tickets to see Gabriel Iglesias at the Mavericks Center in October. 801-575-ZONE. Caller number 12. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We got more to go right around the corner. Best and worst next right here, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
And now, a look at traffic from the KSL Traffic Center.
We have emergency traffic kicking off in Utah County this afternoon, and it's
As JJ and Alex want to hear your best and worst of the day.
All right, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Keary, Jeremiah Jensen has left the building. He's at one of those rare nights where he's doing the 6 o'clock news. Jeremy, you know what that means?
You and me for a second?
I mean, if you're down,
sure, I'll help you out.
you don't have to. You don't have to be. You don't have to be into it. You just have to. Just be a warm body, would you? All right. I'll throw some ideas off you, and you just be like, "Ha ha, that's great." No, your opinion is valued. All right.
The dude couldn't play dead in the horror movie.
Is that my job now?
That's your job now. You could play dead in a horror movie. Just stand there, look like a zombie. First things first, though. For an incredible selection of Kia, Subaru, Chevy, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram, visit Doug Smith dealerships in American Fork and Spanish Fork. Great service starts with know-how, and nobody knows like Doug. Doug. Let me see here. First off, I did want to get to something very quickly before we get to our full-on best and worst. But since we've been talking about the crossover athletes this week, Olympic gold medalist Gable Stevenson has been contacted by NFL teams now after his contract with the WWE is up. A guy who wins the gold medal at the Olympics in wrestling, I feel like has a freaking future. Now, if you're also talking about a guy, now he's also a big body, and he's obviously massively athletic. Do you get a gold medal Olympic athlete to play offensive line for you, or would you rather have a guy from an NBA roster? Because we all heard this week, oh yeah, you can play. Oh yeah, you're an NBA guy. You can go right over to the NFL, which of course we don't know. This guy won the national championship in the NCAA's twice. He also won the gold medal in the what was that? The 2020 Olympics? Yeah. And I guess it was 2021 because they did.
Well,
it the year
technically.
after. Yeah.
You know who else tried this?
Who?
WWE guy.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was all set up for him because he looks like a Viking.
Got
and
cut.
He tried out for the Vikings. Now, I will say this though: Brock Lesnar has also been
UFC champion as well.
Yeah, but he's also kind of considered a little bit of a maybe not as tough. All right, there I said it.
So who has a better chance, wrestler or the rugby guy that the Chiefs signed?
Good question. Rugby guys have translated a little bit, although I will say, like the best rugby player like ever. He was like the world's top player. He played for the All Blacks in New Zealand. I think he came over and tried out. It was one of these dudes that was like 6'6". And 240 and ran like a 4.4, but it just didn't translate. For some reason, it didn't translate. You figured that rugby would. Give me the national champion wrestler, the gold medal wrestling champion, and have him play guard because I feel like the technique would be able to work it out. You know what I mean? These are guys who know how to get their cardio up. They know how to go out there and play. Now, what's his actual stats in terms of what's his height and weight? Because what category did he wrestle in? Even he looks like a big
6'1",
dude.
285. All
right, so you're playing center.
Yeah.
Oh, you're asking a guy. He's got to play guard though because 6'1" is short.
Mm-hmm.
6'1", 265. Let's get you to. That was what he wrestled at. Sorry, but yeah, they say he's more 285. Let's get you to 300 right on the dot, and let's keep the weightlifting routine going, and then we'll see where it goes. But I would absolutely get that guy.
Give him a shot.
And he wrestled in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Let him play for the Vikings.
Give him a
Wait,
shot.
who was it
Who
that
knows?
signed him? Who was it that signed him?
The Bills are looking at him, it looks like.
Well,
or at least they
we'll
reached out after the Olympics.
Yeah, look, like the toughest, strongest, most athletic dude in the world, no problem. Like, give him a shot. You know what I mean? Let me see here. Best of the best and the worst. Oh, boy, I'm going to butcher this.
Who would have thought? 2 soccer stories.
Bayer Leverkusen out of the German
Bless you.
Bundesliga. They have not lost in 49 straight matches. You don't say games, Jeremy.
Sorry, my error. But that's ridiculous.
Come,
They've been unbeaten the entire season, dethroned Bayern Munich to win the title. It's crazy.
Right, and Bayern Munich is like they're the Yankees of German football, right? The Bundesliga. Yeah. Dude, 49 now, it's always kind of weird because, like, when you tie in soccer, that's also you're unbeaten. I don't know how many ties they had in there. So I would have to get the real kind of look. How many wins did you have in there out of the 49? But that is kind of crazy to never have lost in 49 games. You always either win the match or you, at the very least, draw.
40 victories, it says.
40 wins and
Yes.
9 draws.
Mm-hmm.
0 losses in 49 games. That's pretty darn cool. They're the guys that have the V, right? Or is that Bayern Munich? The ones that have like anyway.
Not
I think
sure.
I've seen this team. Yeah. Boy, let's get away from this soccer story
Careful.
as quickly as possible. Jeez.
The next soccer story. Ooh.
Oh, now this is why it's in the worst, right? Last night, Real Salt Lake on these very airwaves losing to New Mexico United. You heard right. It's a real team. I think they're the next tier down, though, right? The U.S. Open
USL team, yes.
Right. The U.S. Open Cup is, the American equivalent of the I don't know, the FA Cup over in Great Britain, right? All the different levels all get to play each other. This is a round of 32. This is supposed to be, at least on points, they are the best team in the West in the MLS, and they go down and they lose by 2 goals to New Mexico United. Okay, Tom made the argument their stars didn't play. I get it.
So
in soccer it matters. So maybe they wanted to take an early exit out of there. All right, we'll pay deference to Tom on that. I'm assuming that's what happened. I will just maybe they want to take a little quick early break from the U.S. Open Cup. You got to rest him for the real MLS stuff that matters.